Yeah, hi. Good morning, everyone. So, is it audible for you guys? Okay, thank you. So, let's start our session then. Okay, so in yesterday, first of all, I'll just revise for a few minutes and we will see continuation to that. So, in yesterday's session, we understood more about the method arguments. So, what is the concept of method arguments or method parameters? Sometimes we can call it as method parameters also. So what is the point of method argument? What is the concept? Why Java given a concept of method arguments? We understood. So it's all about whenever we want to pass some values to the method to execute some logic. To execute logic, you need some values, some input values, some real values. So for a method. So then what you will do is we will create method arguments for as part of that method. So that by using those method arguments, we are going to pass the real values to that method. And by using those values, by using those values, we will execute logic of the method, something like that. We can do that by using method arguments. So method arguments are being used to pass values to the methods, values to the method, values to that method. So create a method. For example, yesterday we taken. So if you see here, yeah, zero arguments means generally sometimes your method doesn't want any input values to execute the logic to perform some other logic. You don't want anything means then you will not define anything inside the parenthesis. But when you are somehow you need to pass always values to the arguments to the method, then what you will do is inside the parenthesis, you will define always data type followed by the argument name. Argument name is similar to variable names only and comma data type variable name. Like that, you can pass more than one argument as part of the method level. So it's up to our choice. So whether it is a zero arguments, one argument, two argument, three argument, four argument, and all, based on the requirement, we will take those arguments. So we cannot say like this is the fixed arguments we have to take always. So it depends on the requirement, how and all. So yesterday we taken some of the examples also. So in case if you want to perform an operation of addition of two values are always mandatory. Yeah, if you see here, so whenever we want to perform two values addition, I want result back of two values. That means two integer values. I told two integer values I'll give you and add those two integer values and give me the result back. So then what you are doing in such case, if you are going like this, you are calling addition method 10,000 times, 100 times, one time. Every time you will see 30 only. Because the reason is inside the method you given the values, fixed values for the a comma b variable. So this is not a good approach because whenever I am calling addition method, I would like to pass different values, different values. Then how to achieve that? So in such case, if you are going with the arguments scenario, and if you define two arguments here, then whenever you are calling addition method like this, whenever you are calling the addition method from whichever method, so you will pass values like this 10 comma 20, 123, whatever it is. So different values you will pass and you will see different out. For those values, the addition result you will see. So this looks like dynamic solution. This looks like a dynamic solution. This looks like a static solution. So that means it just like fixed values, fixed solution always. Always same result. So if you are applying method arguments, what is the advantage of this is you are passing the values and those values, whenever you are calling that method, you are able to pass the values. And by using those values, you can execute the logic. Whatever the logic you implemented, that logic will be executed. And finally, some value you will get the as a result, and that result you will return back to the client. That is how the method arguments are going to be used. So we written a lot of examples yesterday for this also. If you see here, yeah. So if you see here, addition point of view we discussed already, and we discussed come up couple of points also, rules and regulations also. Whenever your addition method is having integer comma integer, so you have to pass always same number of arguments values. So you have two arguments for the addition method. So that means definitely you have to pass always two values, and that to those two values also, whatever the data type you define here, int comma int. Similarly, you have to pass only integer values. Only integer values you have to pass. So these are all rules we understood yesterday. In case if you are not following, what will happen? You will get this kind of errors. Okay, so required integer comma integer, no arguments found. So like that, compiler is going to give always an errors if you are missing any argument value, or if you are giving different type argument value. You define integer and you are passing double value. Then also compiler will say you defined integer and you are passing okay, something like double value. I cannot do that. So like that, compiler is going to give you the compile time errors. So that's why whenever you define a method, the number of arguments what you define, the number of values you have to pass, and the way you define the data type order, in the same data type values you have to pass. For example, if you see here, string email, integer age. So what printing email and age? So I told I'll give you always email and age. Please print those values. So that means email and age value will change every time. Whenever I'm calling this method, I will give different email ID, different age. So that's why you thought like how we implemented this method. So yesterday, we are considering email as a string value. That's why we taken string email. Age as a integer value. So that's why integer age. And whenever you are calling that method, print email and age, like email value in the string format, integer value in age in the integer format. So that's why you will not get two arguments defined, two values we are passing. And that too, first one is string argument. Yes, we are passing string value. Second one is integer argument, and we are passing integer value. So number of arguments equal to number of values, as well as order of the data type is also same. That's why it's a valid one. So if you are not following that, then again compiler will give you the compile time errors. So that is how you can define different types of arguments as part of the method, depends on the requirement point of view. So we will see going further many examples. Not only this, going further, we will write down more than one Java method today onwards. It's not like we will write only main method always. Very rare case. I'll try to implement different methods going on. So we will get hands on from today onwards on writing different types of methods. Okay. So this is all about the syntax of a method, the signature of a method. If you see the method signature, now we know what is access specifier. We are using public for time being. Later we will understand what is private and all. Static means, I told you already, whenever you given static, it will become static method. After that, return type, return value, data type. So return data type. So what is the result that method is going to return? A value. What is the data type of that value? Then based on that you will use a return data type here. In case that method don't want to return any value, your requirement is demanding like the method should not return anything. There is no need to return something. Then you can define void here. So when you define void, no return statement. Other than void, like string, string value, int, integer value. So like the double value, boolean value, student object, employee object. So I'll give you that. I'll show an example that one also. So for example, user defined classes. I told you we have two types of classes: predefined classes, user defined classes. So user defined classes in the sense, as a developer, whatever the classes we implemented, even we can give those also as a return type here. That means we will return always that respective object. I'll take that one example. So don't worry. and then method name. Method name you can give whatever you want. That is what we discussed. And after that, we discussed about the arguments. So that means we are completely done what is each and every area as part of the method, signature level, and what is return statement also. We are completely done with our explanation. Now, only thing is, what is the pending we are having here? It is we discussed everything via static method. So we discussed via static method. Now the concept is all about non-static methods. Now the concept is all about, so these are the rules, please remember. Yeah. Now the concept is all about non-static methods. So let's start implementing the non-static methods now. Okay. Here also you have to understand a lot of rules as per the Java language. Please try to see. Okay. Now what is non-static method here? So when it comes to the signature, I'll write down the signature. Yeah, I'll write like this. So whenever a method is not declared with a keyword called as static, then we will call it as a non-static method. So that means a method is not declared with static keyword. Static keyword, it will be called as non-static method. So that means, yeah. So if you take in syntax again, I already written syntax earlier also. Yeah, I think below we are already have it. So if you see here, same thing. A method which doesn't have a static keyword, simply we can call it as a non-static method. That's why they given word as a non-static method. So if you observe here, the rest of the things are common. Whatever we discussed, return type, method argument, method names, return statement, access specifier, everything is okay. Only thing is we will not provide the static keyword here. But if you provided static, if you are not provided static, there will be lot of difference. With respect to execution, even we understood earlier also. I told you static variable versus non-static variable. So what is happened? Static variable versus non-static variable. With respect to development, with respect to variable creation point of view, static integer a I taken a equal to 10 and integer a equal to 10. So for example, assume here it is a static variable, a is a static variable, here a is a non-static variable. Because of one keyword static, this entire behavior, the behavior of this variable, the memory allocation of this variable is completely different, right? It's completely different. Completely different from non-static variable. So that means this will store in where? In an area called as method area, class area. I told you like it is going to start in store in the class area as a single copy. Single copy. But if you remove static keyword, then it will act as a non-static variable. So non-static variable is all about dealing with always object creation. So whenever you created an object, a private copy for that object will be allocated on every object creation. On every object creation, and every object creation, a memory allocation is happened for a instance variable or non-static variable. So if you created 1,000 objects, then 1,000 copies are going to be maintained, right? This is what we discussed and we saw it all. So that means what is my point here? It is with respect to the developer point of view, it looks like a single word. If you remove single word static, then even above one will also becoming as a non-static variable. But at the same time, when you are executing the program, when you are compiling and when you are executing the program, the variable of non-static behavior is completely different when comparing with the static variable. Similarly, here also, methods point of view also, it looks like only one word difference in between static and non-static. If you are having static, it will become static method. If you are not having non-static keyword, then it will become non-static method. But with respect to execution also, again, same behavior, however, we discussed like earlier static variables. So the non-static methods are always works with the objects. So I'll tell you, you cannot understand within one day all these things. Uh, in going further, we will always write most of the times 95 percentage non-static methods only. So that means in real-time applications, going further, I'm telling you greater than 90%. That means more than 90 percentage. We will always write non-static variables and non-static methods only. So in a project, generally we will write always non-static variables and non-static methods only. I'll show you one of the small real-time project also. Then you will realize you will write 19% of the time non-static variables and non-static methods only. Very less amount of time we will go for the static variables and static methods. The reason is Java is a object-oriented programming language. So that means it's all about object. Java itself, it's all about object. So when you are taking static is not part of object creation. Non-static is only part of object creation. So that's why you will deal everything with via object. So that's why non-static variables. Similarly, methods point of view also, you will always deal methods. We will always deal with methods, whatever the methods we are writing non-static methods. These methods are also somehow, okay, we are dealing always with via methods only, sorry, objects only. So that's why 90% of time we will write always non-static variables and non-static methods in our day-to-day application development. So please concentrate, please understand the difference between static and non-static very clearly also. Okay, now I removed non-static, sorry, I removed static, then it became static keyword, non-static method. So what will happen? How to execute that method? Let's see here. Yeah, I removed here also, right? Okay, cool. Okay, so let's write a method first and we will try to understand the rules. There are some rules available, so we will try to understand one by one rule as part of our non-static methods, creation as well as accessing non-static methods, executing non-static methods and all. We will try to see. What I will do is, I'll take a new class, method arguments, sorry, I'll take like this, non-static methods demo.java. Okay, so cool. Now public class name. So now public first, and I will explain. Now you will understand why Java JVM is always expecting a main method. Whenever you are writing a Java program to execute your Java program, you need always a main method. So, and main method should be always static method. Now, once you are knowing what is the non-static method, what is the point, why we are writing non-static method, then we will understand why Java is always expecting main method as a static method. So we will try to understand it. Okay, this is a just basic class. We know that we have to write always. Now it's all about writing non-static methods. So I'll take same example. What it is? Write a method which takes two input values and return a result of addition as well as subtraction and division as well as multiplication. So I want all these results. I'll give two input values, or I can write down like this also. Write a method, write methods. I included methods, so that means more than one method. So which takes two input values and return result of addition, subtraction, multiplication. So in this case, I am writing a non-static method. So to implement this, what you will do is public public. You know how to write down the methods now. It's all about public and followed by the, it's not a static key method. So that's why you should not use static this time. So in yesterday's class, what we did, we used static keyword. So if you see here, we used static. The reason is we written static method and how to call static methods from the main method and all, we understood right now. We are calling directly. I will come back to the difference now. So now it's not a static method. It's all about non-static method I'm writing. So no static keyword. So after that, return type. Now I'm taking two integer values here. For example, I told you take to input integer values. Even I given very clearly what are the values also you have to take always. So I given like this. Okay, then two integer values addition will come always. Again integer only. So addition point of view. So now I'm writing method name as addition and I'm taking two arguments. So the story is same again with respect to arguments also. So integer x comma y, integer y. So what is the point of this method is, this method is going to take two argument values always. Whoever is calling this addition method, they should pass always two integer values and this will return always integer statement. So integer value. So for example, what I will do is system dot out dot println addition. Okay, so now return x plus y. So what I did, whatever the values comes as part of the x comma y variables, I am adding x plus y so that automatically it will return always integer value and whoever is calling that, they will get the integer value. So this is what we did. Now yesterday, with respect to static method, what we did guys, so assume this is the method we written. Only thing is, now we are not written non-static keyword. And you are calling directly. In yesterday's static method point of view, from the main method, you are calling the directly. Directly means addition of 10 comma 30. Like that you did. But now come back here. So understand there are a lot of couple of points you have to remember now. You will get here. Same way I am calling. See here. And I am passing 10 comma 20 only. And I am taking integer result, like that I am taking a variable also. So that means what is my intention here? It is when JVM starts from the main method, when you are executing the program, you are saying like go to the addition method by taking 10 comma 20, 10 will replace in x, 20 comes into the y. So then JVM jumps here and JVM will execute this line, right? And then JVM will come to next line, x plus y 10 plus 20, 30. So that means this overall method will return 30. And this 30 you are holding as part of this variable. So now if I am writing in the next line like system.out.println of result, then you will see 30. Okay, let me write on that line. System.out. println result. So this is what we written yesterday and today also. Only thing is today we written non-static method. Now see what is happening now. Let me compile the program first. Compile the program. Okay, so see here Java C, and I am writing what is my program name, non-static methods demo. So if you observe here, immediately compiler is saying some issue. So what is that issue? Try to understand. Meanwhile, I'll do one thing. Okay. So just a moment. Yeah. So if you see here, now what compiler is saying? Line number 7 level, you got an error. Compiler giving an error. Compiler is saying non-static method. Please listen the error. Please see the error. So what is the error you got? Here it is. I'll take that one also here. This is what you got. Non-static method addition. Non-static method addition, integer comma integer cannot be referenced from a static context. So what is the point of non-static method? See, if I'm going to my program and if I'm adding a simple keyword called as again static and save it, come back, compile it, the error is gone. Sorry, I made in wrong place. It should be always before the return type, return data type. So before method name, always return either void or return data type should come. Before that only you have to write the static or whatever it is. So wrong place I written. Okay, let me compile now. See, now the error is gone. So that means if I am removing again static, it became non-static method. And if I am compiling my program, now it is again saying like non-static method cannot be referenced from a static context. So it is saying like at line number 5 level, in this line, there is a problem, and the problem is non-static method addition cannot be referenced from a static concept. So what is the point of this is what Java is trying to say here. Now understand. So definitely there will be a difference between static and non-static point of view. So what is that? Like try to understand. Yeah, you got this error, right? So the point what it is trying to say here it is main method is a static method. Main method is a static method. Addition method is a non-static method. So that means main is all about static method and addition is all about non-static method. Non-static. Now what Java is trying to say here it is from the okay, you are calling non-static method from a static method. So that means from a static means from the main method, you are calling the non-static method. So that will not be allowed directly. So that means what is the rule here it is? What is the problem here it is? In Java, we cannot call or access non-static methods from the static methods directly. So that means what is the point of directly here? It is, if you observe, if I made again this one as a static, like yesterday, like static method point of view, static method, you are calling addition method directly and you are getting the result also. You are not at all doing any other things. But with respect to static versus non-static point of view, we can't we cannot call non-static methods from the static methods directly. So that means we have to access always by using an object or instance. I mean, object or instance both are same. So by using object, by using, so we have to access always by using an object of that class or of an instance of that class. Instance of that class. Instance of that class. Similarly, same rule applicable for variables also. So what is my point here? It is, I'll come back. So we will discuss same rule applicable for variables also. So that means, that's what I told you. It's all interrelated, variables and methods, static versus non-static. In Java, we can't call or access non-static variables, from the static methods directly. We cannot access non-static variables from the static methods directly. We have to access always by using again object of that class. So it's all about variables point of view. So see here, today's program. Yeah, I'm writing here integer a equal to 20. Static integer b equal to 40. So if you observe here, I written one a non-static variable out of all methods and inside the class, and it is a non-static variable. This is a static variable. Now there is a point. What is that point? Try to understand. Okay, I'll do one thing. Yeah, see here, system dot out dot println, and we completed all this earlier itself in the variables. Now I am writing here b or a, whatever it is. Now similarly, I'll write b also. I'll write b also. So understand here. Now again, compiler is going to give some errors to you with respect to variable point of view. See, now two errors you got. What is that errors? One is related to addition. We understood that. Non-static method of addition. Addition is a non-static method, cannot be called, cannot be accessed, cannot be referenced directly from the static context. Static context in the sense static method in this area. Now similarly, if you go to the first error, non-static variable, see, that's what I told you. It's simple concept. It's all about again variable. Non-static variable cannot be referenced from the static context. So it looks like problem is same, but variable and method, but problem is same. So that means solution also same here also. So that means what is the problem here? System.out.println a level, it is showing a problem. So that means it is trying to say here, it is, hey man, a is a non-static variable. A is a non-static variable. But main method, A, where you access it, guys, inside the static method. So non-static content cannot be accessible directly inside the static methods. That's why you got an error here as well as here. Now you are not received any error with respect to this line. Why? because b is a static variable and main method is also a static method. So this is static family, this is static content, this is static content, this is static content. Now Java is saying static content you can access from anywhere else. So I'll give you one more rule. What is that rule is static content of a class, content in the sense either variables or methods, class can access, so we can access static content of a class, we can access directly from either non-static methods as well as static methods. So please, there is a small difference available in this overall concept. What is the latest point I'm trying to say here? It is, if it is a static variable or static method, we can access directly either from non-static methods as well as static methods. So that means based on my statement now, non-static content I can access directly from non-static area also. So accessing static from the static area, there is no problem. But now my point is saying even I can access. So in this case, B is a static variable. Addition method is a non-static method. So static, non-static. But still I can access the B variable. So that is what the point here it is. Compile the program. See, it is saying, it is again, compiler is complaining about this line and this line, but not this line. So that means this is the point you have to remember. So what are the points I'm trying to say here? It is whether it is a variable or variable. Yeah, we will write some shortcuts and then we will come back. What I will do is I'll remove this for time being, and then yeah, I'll remove this one also. I'll add these lines later. So I'm just trying to give you an overview, like same behavior is for variables also with respect to static, non-static methods point of view. That's why I added. I'll come back to that. Now first fix until this issue. Let's understand what is the problem and how to fix it. Then we'll come back to the variables also quickly. If you are understanding one concept, other concept is same. So same problem. It is saying like non-static method cannot be accessible from the static. Okay, fine. What you have to do that? For that, what you have to do? I told you we have to use always an object of the class. So that means what I'm trying to do here, it is, see here in the main method, I'm creating an object for this class. Okay, object 1 equal to new class name again. So this is the way we will create the object. We will create the object. Now see, you created an object, and by using object, you have to call the method. That's what I told you. In Java, we cannot access non-static methods from the static methods directly. We have to access always by using object of that class. Object of that class. So that means how to call here it is object name dot method. Object name dot method, and if you are having any arguments and its values, argument values. Same way you will call, like however you called yesterday by passing values, but in front of your method, you have to use always object name. So see here now, object name dot method. So what? Object I created and object one dot method I created. So this is what rule you have to follow here it is. So now see, what is the compile time error you are getting, or you are not getting any error? What is happening? See here. See, now the error is gone. So that means your program compiled successfully. That means we are following the rules as expected by the Java. So what you did in this case, this is what created an object and object name dot method name. You're calling method. You defined a method as a non-static method, and whenever you want to call non-static method from the static method, then you need always an object of that class. So that means this method belongs to this class. So for that class, you need to create an object and then you have to call that method. So that is the one rule you have to remember now onwards. So let's execute the program also now. See, now you got a output. But the way how you called, how you accessed a non-static method from the main method is the thing you have to remember here it is. Why the problem is main method is a static method, here it is. Now see here, public static integer subtraction. Okay, and then here also I will use two variables, integer a comma integer b. So then this time I written static. A minus b, and I'm just making like subtraction point of view. Fine. Now subtraction is the method you implemented is as a static method. So in this case, can we call subtraction directly? Means yes. So method name followed by the values. I'll pass 20 comma off. So then you will get some integer result again. So you can reuse above variable already. You created result equal to like this. Now system dot out dot println of result. So what is the point you have to understand again here? Save it, compile it. Sorry, a compilation. Compiled it. Now see the program is compiled. Why? There is no object you used, but still the program is compiled. What is the reason? Here it is. Here you are not used any object. Object name dot method name. You are not followed anything. It's directly called, and compiler is saying like, okay, your program is good. But why not our addition means? Addition is a non-static method. Non-static is nothing but object. So you have to take always object. That too at what scenarios? When you are calling from the static method. So now understand the points. Static content of a class we can access directly from either non-static methods as well as static methods. So that means now I called one static method from another static method with respect to subject subtraction. Now if I am removing this area and I am making here, is it okay or not? So in this case, what I am doing from the, in this case, what I am trying to do here it is, you are calling subtraction method, leave about method names, okay? Think about the concept point of view. Now in this case, what you are trying to do, subtraction is a static method. Addition is a non-static method. You are calling here in this case, static method. So you are calling static method here. So right now I told you one point, static methods can be accessible directly from either non-static methods and static methods. You can access directly from the static and non-static methods. You can access directly. So that means with respect to my statement, with respect to my statement, is this the correct means? Yes, it is correct. But if you observe here, you are not using any object again here. But if you observe here, you are calling addition method by using object name. So that means the restriction happened only for the non-static methods when you are calling from the static methods. When you are accessing from the static method, when you are calling a non-static method from the static method, you need always object help. When you are calling non-static method, when you are calling non-static method, either from the non-static method or from the static method, you can call, if there is no need of object, you can call directly. That means you can call from non-static methods, you can call from the static methods. But when it comes to addition, what is the problem? Non-static methods you can call, but static methods level you cannot call. So you need always object help in this case. So these are the points we have to remember. So now in this case, what compiler is going to, once let's compile the program first, then we will see. So these are all points you have to remember, guys. I don't know how much you are practicing. I'm okay. See here now, you didn't get any compile time error, but you got the output also. So that means my statements, not my statement, Java is giving something like this. Static content of a class we can access directly from either non-static methods as well as static methods. So there is no restriction for the static content, only restriction available for non-static methods. That too, non-static methods, when you are calling from the static methods, you cannot do that. But I'll give you one more point here. It is non-static methods can be accessible directly from non-static methods. From non-static methods. So what is this point? Earlier point is all about calling non-static method from the static method. You cannot do that. You need object help like this. You need object help like this. But now non-static methods can be accessible directly from the non-static methods. Okay, so see here. Now I'm writing one more method, public integer multiplication Yeah, this is a non-static method here, and I'll write like this: integer m comma n, integer n, integer space m comma integer space n, and I'll write multiplication and m into n. So in this case, what you are trying to do, you are doing the multiplication and you are returning. But this method is what? Non-static method. So now can you tell me, can I call multiplication method from the addition directly or not? So I'm passing 20 comma 30, something like that. So, and I will get result back again. So then I will print result again. So now my point here it is, it's not about the output what you are getting, understand the concept. So you are calling addition here, addition, static, non-static. So non-static cannot be accessible directly. That's why you take in help of object. Cool. Second point, you are calling from the non-static method, you are calling static method. Yes, you can call directly. That is what we understood. There is no problem. There is no need of object help. Now, right now, I told one more point. Non-static methods can call other non-static methods directly. Yes. Now, multiplication is what? Non-static. Static, this is static. This is static. So that means non-static can call directly non-static methods. Yes. See, from the non-static method, you are calling the other non-static method. Yes, it is allowed. So non-static family versus non-static family. I can simply you just remember it as a shortcut pointer. You can call directly. There is no need of object help. So that means this line also correct. So you no need of any object here. Okay. So see here. Compile the program. Your compilation is good means your logic is good. Simply. Now see the output. See now you got output 20 into 30, 600. Multiplication 600 also. So that means now I will ask you one more point. Now you have to tell me what is your understanding from this. What is my point here? It is same whatever the method I am calling like this. Before the return statement I written here. Now tell me, is it a valid or not? Now is it a valid or not? Please tell me now. It's a valid or not? Thus, any others, any options? Just now we understood, right? What is the first rule? What is the error you got? What is the error we got? First of all, leave about the method names. Non-static method cannot call from the static method directly. Non-static method cannot call from the static. Simple. That is the point. If you are applying here, non-static method calling from the static directly. Compiler is going to say, hey man, you are calling non-static method from the static directly. Static you can call. See, static you can call. I'll give you that shortcut. We will make that graph. We will make that mapping now. So that means now see the problem. Compiler, sorry, I did not saved it. Yeah, I saved it now. Let's compile the program. See, that is what again it is saying. Hey man, in the line number 20, you are calling the multiplication method from the static method. So multiplication is a non-static method. Non-static method cannot call from the static method. So that is the problem again repeated here it is. So that means in a overall map point of view, what you can do is calling from called. See, same rule applicable for variables also, guys. Please remember. I will show you one example right now. So now tell me, what is my point here? It is static method calling non-static content. Calling in the sense accessing. Okay, it's better to use this word accessing. Non-static. Similarly, 4 scenarios you will get. Static method accessing, static again. Methods for time being, I'll take as a method only. We'll take example for variable also. Very non-static. So that means non-static method accessing static method. Non-static method accessing non-static method. Static method accessing non-static. Static method accessing static. Now tell me, in this case, where you need object help. Now tell me in this case where you need object help and where you don't need. 1 comma 4. One static method accessing non-static method. Yes, exactly. Cool. Object required. Cool. Static method calling non-static method. That is what you are doing, right? See, go to the program. Even if you see main method point of view also, main method, static method calling non-static. It's not allowed. That's why you take an object help. So that means this is the problem. Yeah. Static calling non-static, then that definitely you need object help. You need to call via object only. Second, static method accessing static methods. You don't need object. No need of object. Why? That is how Java is designed with respect to in the same class. So that's why if you observe our program right now, static subtraction and first even yesterday's example also if you taken static method calling static method without any object help. So that's why no need of object. Static method accessing now. Now from the non-static method accessing static method. So in this case, go back to our example. What it is? Addition is a non-static method. Calling subtraction is a static method. Without compile time, okay, without any object you are able to do that. So that means in this case also no object required. You can call static content directly. No need of object. So non-static method accessing non-static method. In this case also no need of object. So that means if you see here non-static method, you are calling multiplication directly. No need. Only from the static method, when you are calling the non-static, then only you need an object. So if you need an object in the sense, here again create an object, create one more object here. Object to 2 dot, I called like this, created an object and I used an object. Now see the compile time error you are getting or not? The error is gone. Printed, see, you got all the output. So this is what the thing. So it's only problem when you are calling non-static methods from the static methods, then only you need object help. In remaining cases, you don't need of any objects. You don't need of objects. Within the class point of view, I am talking. Okay? Object required, object not required, object not required, object not required. No. In this case also object not required. See, non-static path versus non-static. No need. If you observe here, non-static method calling non-static method. This is non-static method. This is non-static method. You are calling non-static method directly, right? So non-static method can call static methods as well as non-static methods directly. But the problem comes only when you are calling from the static methods. If you are calling again static will allow static directly. But static will not allow non-static directly. And static will say like, hey man, please create an object and call non-static from the object only, like that. But non-static is allowing static as well as non-static directly. Okay, is it clear now within the class? So you are calling non-static, static. Sorry, yeah, static, non-static. So that is what we made here. It is from the non-static, you can call static methods, no need of object. Non-static also, no need of object. Only from the static level, when you are calling non-static content, then only object required. Similarly, variables also. Similarly, variables also same behavior. So let me write one example with respect to variables. I will not touch this. Variables. This is all about static versus non-static variables only. Okay, see here, I'll write very simple example. Same rule applicable for variables also. Now you have to answer all my questions. Public class public static void main string array args nothing but arguments. Now I will ask you one more point. My point here it is, can I give here my name? You know arguments now. We completed arguments yesterday and today also. So I told you argument name, when inside the method, in between parentheses, whatever you are giving, it will be called as an argument. Argument data type space argument name. So I told you argument name is a developer choice. So till today, whenever I am writing the program, I always written arguments, right? So now can I give Dilip or not? Can I give A comma A or not? Can I give X or not? Yes, we can give anything. That's what I told you, right? Argument name is user choice, developer choice. You can give anything. Only thing is, as a symbolic point of view, always you will say like arguments as a shortcut point of view, args. That's all. So you can give Dilip also, no problem. You can give your own name also. So variable name. This will become a variable name. You can give X also. You can give Y also, like that, whatever it is. Okay, let me try with Y. So it's not a big deal. Variable name is choice. Okay, now come back here. I write one variable as a static. I'll not confuse much. Integer a equal to, okay, I'll write like this. String college name equal to ABC college, something like that. And I given it as a static. And same, I written one more variable. Integer college count equal to 300 something I written. Now, what is the difference? Leave about the data types. Think about only static versus non-static point of view. Okay. So now tell me the rules, whatever we discussed right now. Just if you want, you can see one more time also. Same, I told you, same behavior for variables also. Static method accessing non-static variables. That's all. So now see here, based on this, you can tell me where the problem is there. I'll type the program, and meanwhile you just observe where we have to do the correction. let me write down in my flow, and meanwhile you just observe where what you have to do. Prepare your answer ready. Yeah. So this is my program. So now tell me in this case, which line level? I mean, if you want line numbers, I don't know whether we can display line numbers here or not. Yeah. Based on this line numbers, you can tell me now. So where you are going to get the compile time errors now? I have this program. Okay. First of all, anyone tried 1752, 1752, 1752? Okay, let's keep like this and we'll try to understand. Okay. So you people are saying like 1752 or line number one. Okay, 1752 means yeah, this line's point of view. Okay. See here, first of all, compilation point of view, we will think compiler point of view. You define one static variable, one non-static variable, that is fine. So this will be allocated in method area. This will be allocated in generally, this is part of always heap area. It's when you are creating the object point of view. Okay, that is a different story. Now main method. Main method is all what? Static method. So from the static method, you are accessing college name is a static. Yes, static versus static. Cool, no problem. So fine. From the static method, accessing non-static variable. So that means what is the rule we remember right now? From the static methods, you cannot call non-static content, whether it is a variable or method, you cannot call directly. So that means you will get compile time error here. Yes. In line number 1752 level, we will get the compile time error. Fine. Next. It will come and verify this method also. This method also we followed proper rules or not. See, compiler will check each and every line, guys. Compiler will check each and every line from starting word to starting character to end of the character, everything it will check. Whether you are calling that method from the main method is a different story. That will comes under the execution level, but compiler will verify everything. Now it will come to the next method. It will verify what is this method? Non-static method. Compiler is verifying like this. This guy calling college name. College name is what? Static. Okay. Static can be called from the non-static directly. So that's why yes, good. Now college count. College count itself what? Non-static. So definitely non-static versus non-static. Yes, cool. There is no problem. Similarly, next line it will come. Static method. you're accessing, you're returning college name. So static versus static, no problem. So that means yes, your answer is correct. You are going to get the problem in line number 1752. So that means with respect to this line, we will get the error now. So whether it is true or not, see. Thanks. That is how you have to understand. Compile it. Sorry, I think we are not saved it. I think we program itself wrong. Name variable something we written what? Static, non-static variables. Okay. Yeah. So compiling the program. See now you got in the same area. Whatever we expected, line number 10, that means this line. Line number 10 is this line. So now it will become line number 8. So yes, exactly what it is saying, college count. Variable, see, non-static variable college count cannot be accessed from the static context. Nothing but this is the problem. So please remember this is also same issue. So that means what you have to do? Again, object. So create an object. This variable belongs to which class? This class. So right for that, create an object obj1 equal to new class name, and automatically this is what you did, and you have to use format of object name dot variable name. That's all. Now let me write down that one also here. You have to take object name dot variable name. You have to take object name dot variable name. So object name dot variable name. So see here. Yes. Now object dot variable name. Now see the compile time error you are getting or not. Save it. Yeah. I forgot to save. Saved it now. Now see the compile time error is gone. So the reason is now yes you are following the rule. What from the static non-static not allowed directly. You need object. That's why you created an object and you take an object name dot variable name. Similarly, if it is method also, if you want to call this method, now in this case, this line is allowed guys directly. Can I call this method directly like this? Again, what is the problem? From the static area, you are calling the non-static content. Static will not allow non-static content directly, whether it is a variable or object. Sorry, variable or method. So in this case, again, you will get the compile time error. Same error you will get, but this time towards method. See, this time it is saying like earlier it is all about variable. This time it is all about method. Which method? Print college. So for that, what you have to take? You have to take the help of object. You already have an object. You can reuse that object. Object one dot print college data. So object name dot method name. Object name dot variable name. When you are doing from the static. See, the error is gone. Now, if you want, you can execute the program also. So it is printing ABC college 300, ABC college 300. So one is here ABC college 300. Again, you are calling this method again ABC college 300. ABC college 300. Like that, it is allowing us to access variables by following this kind of rules. So only one thing what you have to remember is this is what you have to remember. When you are calling non-static variable or non-static method from the static method, you need always object reference. You guys are clear now? But why, what and all the things are, why all these things, why Java made like this? To understand all this history, it's not going to, you are not going to understand within 1 or 2 classes. It's a long journey. By end of the core Java, by understanding lot of other points, inheritance, principles, object-oriented principles, abstraction, polymorphism, then after end of all these topics, then you will realize, then only you can come up with a conclusion like, okay, this is why more priority given to the objects, object oriented programming, more priority given to the object point of view. That is how you will understand. Conclusion you will come after the end of the core Java. I cannot give today itself. You cannot understand anything. Only thing is, just remember these rules. Remember like this, whenever you are writing a small program, don't make, see, now still I am seeing lot of students, if I given same this small program only, if I'm asking them, could you please identify what are the corrections I have to do? So if I'm giving this program like this, generally I used to give given to so many people. If I'm giving like this, and if I'm asking them, is this program is going to compile successfully or not? So many of them is saying like going to compile successfully. They are not at all thinking like college name static. Okay, static calling static. Okay, no need. Good. This line. Next, non-static calling from the static. Okay, then here you will get compiled error. Similarly, here also you will get the compiled error. So in such a way, you have to think, you have to answer the questions, guys. So please come back to that situation practically, not by hearting. Okay. So remember this kind of things. And when you are practicing also, make your own analysis, make your own understanding. Okay, I'm calling non-static from the static. So in this case, object is allowed. Like that, you have to do that. So is it clear now? I think, let me find out some assignment. Yeah, this is one of the assignment. You can do that. So I'll give you overall. So what it is, what I'm trying to say here, it is create addition method like this and call from the main method. Yeah, main method should call addition. Addition should call again subtraction method. That is the flow I needed here. Main method should call addition. Addition should call subtraction. In this case, subtraction is again static. Static methodology. So I'm not giving entire logic, just giving signatures. So create one non-static, create one static, and from the main call the addition. I'm not giving all these things also. It's up to your choice. How will you do that? Call the from the main call the addition, and from the addition call the subtraction, and see how the things are happening. I will give a lot of assignments. Don't worry. I'm just making you comfort in the core Java right now. I mean, in the basics point of it. Once you are going into the some deep, all these assignments you will also get. So it's all core Java only. 10,000 lines, I think, running notes we have for previous batch. Okay, just do your own practice. I'll try to give you one more assignment also later. This I will discuss next. Packages, all these things, points of view. I'll give RLs for you on. Okay, I'll give one more assignment. Dynamically, I'll give. See, it's not about the assignments what I'm giving you always. Okay, so maybe I can give one or two, three with my limitation. But what you can do is when you are having more time and when you are feeling like you should practice more and more, you can take help of artificial intelligence. That is how you have to use the artificial intelligence. Okay, so I think ChatGPT is logged out. I don't know. I forgot my username password. I'll do it later. Gemini, Google one. So see here, you can ask assignments for variables and methods in Java. ChatGPT is definitely better. This is not that much good. I'll show you how to get more assignments from the ChatGPT. I'll log in and I'll show you in the next class. I forgot my username password of ChatGPT. Okay, let me give here. Because why I'm giving assignment is tomorrow we don't have a class as a festival. On behalf of festival, so festival, right? So tomorrow we don't have a class. We will connect on Monday again. So what I will do here it is take, yeah, write a Java program. Write a program as which should print your details. Your details. So that means inside this, what you have to do is create static method where it should take input of static variables only, static content. So that means static content means your name. Your name will never ever change. Your gender will never ever change. So like that. Create one more non-static method. So there write the data and define some variables. Okay, define variables also. You know how to define variables now. Static. For example, if I'm saying like name, your name means your name will not change every day. So that means you can take it as a static. Your mobile number, maybe it may change. Or assume what your height and weight. Your weight may fluctuate. So you can take it as a non-static variable. Something like that. I cannot say like exactly this one. Your income. Today it might be 100 rupees, tomorrow it might be 200 rupees. Tomorrow, after some point of time, it will be 10 lakhs. So that those kind of data, my income is going to change from one day to another day. My savings will change from today to another day. Like that, you have to think. Okay, non-static method, take non-static variables, whatever you defined in the here point of view. Like that, print your own information, whatever past percentages you are having. So like that, just what is your current income. So how to define your current income variable as a static or non-static? You don't think you will define as a static, right? It will be non-static because your income may change from day to day. Your expenses will change like that. Just think and take ideas. I'll give you more assignments on Monday also. I have somewhere else assignments. I forgot it. Where I have, I'll give it to you if you want. Not sure. Okay, these are all I given to you, and I have other things also. So this is what you have to complete other topics. Then I'll give it to you. Packages, methods, variables. Yeah, you have to complete packages, operators. Then I can give it to you. This is a big assignment. Then I'll give it to you. These are all okay. These are all inheritance point of view. Yeah, scanner class I'll take later. Okay, leave it. I'll prepare some other assignments for you. But time being, just take those and please practice practically. Okay, it doesn't matter of that is what I will try. I'll trust always. What is that is? It's not matter of quantity. Please remember that point always. Don't tense. Don't be tempted to. Okay, my friend practiced 10 examples, so I need to practice 15 examples. It's not the matter of quantity. Don't worry about the quantity. Quantity is not important. Okay. So my kid will also write 20 programs. Second class kid. 20 programs he will write. But only thing is he will by heart and he will write. So he is just simply he is going to by heart it. But it's not the matter. Write only two programs and understand each and every line, what you are doing, what you are making, what is happening at compile time, what is happening at runtime. That is what you need to understand. So maintain the quality of practice. Quality of practice. So that means maybe this guy practiced 15 examples without thinking with by hearting manner, he practiced 15 examples. But you written only two programs with respect to thinking, practically thinking what is compile is happening, how when you are writing this word, how compiler is going to treat it. If you define a static variable, how compiler is work, how compiler is checks. If you write a non-static variable, you are calling static from the non-static, non-static from the non-static like that. If you started thinking in such a way, that is what about the I want. Quality of practice I want. I don't think about a person writing 15 programs, a person writing two programs. I'll think always about how much quality they are having while you are doing the practice. That will improve your knowledge. It's so don't worry about the number of examples, worry about the one example practice for 1 hour, 2 hours with in detail. It's not like within 1 hour you have to write down 10 programs. And after that, if I'm asking some question or someone else is asking, you should not confuse. You should not say like I don't know or I forgot it or I am unable to understand it. It's not matter. So just maintain the quality of practice. Okay. So that will improve your knowledge. So what I will do, tomorrow we don't have a class. Monday we will connect. On Monday we will see what are the topics we will discuss. Methods with this. We are done with the methods and we are going to use methods and variables going further in every topic. It's not today. Every day you are going to write. We are going to write down multiple methods and multiple variables going on. So it will become your hands-on automatically. But meanwhile, please practice. Okay, so I'll prepare some assignments also. Meanwhile, you just take these assignments. Just simple one only, but take it up. Thanks. If you have anything, let me know. Otherwise, we can wind up the session. Thank you. Thanks to everyone. Happy Dasra, happy festival to everyone. And we'll connect on Monday.